Hi, it's Benny here from Falling in Love with Presenting. This is the next tip in the series, and the more I do these tips, I think so much of this is about real common sense. The thing is just that most people don't think of applying the common sense of the rest of life to presentations. Let me give you an example. When you invite people for dinner, would I be right in thinking that you're going to do kind of common sense stuff, common courtesy we might call it, to include as many people of this group as you can? For example, if there's one person that really has no interest in motor car racing, will you really spend the entire night speaking to the 2 or 3 people in the group that love motorsport? Isn't it true that just socially, when we engage with people that we care about, we make a point of speaking to everybody and including everybody, and hopefully also actually asking how other people are? It's the same thing with presenting. The thing with some presenters is they assume, based on what comes out of their mouth, that everybody in the audience agrees with them, or that everybody in the audience is like them, or like the majority of people. Let me give you the simplest example. A lot of speakers assume that everybody in the audience is heterosexual only because probably they themselves, the speaker, is heterosexual. So they might say something like, when a boy grows up and then he meets a girl and then eventually they get married and they have kids, well, that's kind of the way that life works. Now, with that very simple single sentence, you have excluded gay people, lesbian people, transgender people, straight people who have no interest in getting married or would love to but just haven't got married yet, and so on. That does not make you heterosexist or homophobic or ignorant or any of the above. It doesn't mean anything about you as a person. It just means that those people in the audience, different to the assumption you've just made, you've lost a little bit of them. For some of them, you would have lost a lot. And every time somebody switches off on the inside in your presentation, that's energy lost for you and your presentation. Because if you've been going through the tip series and also through the ones that are about to follow, you'll find out that when you set up a presentation in the most effective way and actually engage the audience every single step of the way, it becomes a collaborative group effort. So it's not just you expending energy by speaking to or at the audience, but it actually becomes a collaboration of energy. And the audience's energy starts contributing to the whole event, which means that afterwards you're not drained, but you actually feel great. You just had a conversation with people. So be mindful with your language. In the written article that goes with this video, I explain exactly how you can very, very simply turn that around. Now, I want to say this is not about being politically correct or even about hurting people's feelings. It is also absolutely not about denying reality, and reality that is on this earth, the vast majority of people are heterosexual. That's a fact. That doesn't mean you have to deny that. But you can simply tweak the language by, for example, saying, when a straight boy grows up and he meets a girl, or when boys grow up and they might fall in love with another boy or another girl. In other words, include everybody in the audience, but only if you want your message to land with as many people as possible. The minute, as I've said before, you say something that excludes somebody in the audience, they automatically know you're not speaking to them, and their minds are much more inclined to wander somewhere else or actually be put off by the fact that you have just not included them in the conversation. I recently had my hair cut, not this one, it was the one before. And within about the first 2 minutes, the person who cut my hair had assumed that I worked in an office full day, which is wrong. She assumed that I was married with kids and therefore straight, which was wrong. And then when I told her that I was single, she assumed and actually said, "Oh, you're one of the lucky ones," implying that I wanted to be single, which isn't true either. Now, when she said those things and made those assumptions about me in the way that she spoke to me, again, I'm not suggesting in any way, shape or form there's anything that she did anything wrong. I'm not saying she's homophobic or anything else. What I am saying to you is every time that she excluded me in the conversation, a little bit of me shut down. After the first 2 minutes and the first 3 times that she got me wrong, there was nothing in me that was like really keen and eager to have a conversation with her. So it's one of those very quiet haircuts. Maybe you've had them. You just kind of sit and look in the mirror and just pray the whole thing would be over soon. If, therefore, you would like more people in the audience to actually be able to receive your message, the responsibility is on you to do what you need to do to include them. And it's very simple. If you read the written article that goes with that, there's a lot more detail. It's very simple to do. The only thing that's required is for you to become even just a little bit more mindful in the way that you speak. That's it. Benny Nadir from Fall in Love with Presenting. Please comment on this, ask your questions, send any comments, feedback. Love to hear from you. And until next time, bye for now.